Well, the Western Cape High Court has heard the state's closing arguments in the trial of missing 6-year-old Joshlin Smith. Prosecutor Advocate Zelda Swanepoel says key witness Lourentia Lombaard provided the golden thread, which was bolstered by the testimony of over 30 others. 3 people, including her mother, Kelly Smith, are on trial. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi reports.
The state maintains that Joshlin Smith's disappearance was not accidental, but the result of a calculated plan to traffic the little girl for exploitation. An agreement allegedly entered into by co-accused, her mother Kelly Smith, her boyfriend Joshlin Smith, their friend Stefano van Rijn, who, together with key state witness Lourentia Lombaard.
And this is the first one of its kind, and I say that because usually in a tip case, and I will refer to trafficking in persons further as a tip case, usually in a tip case, the main source of information and your most important source of information usually is your victim. In this case, we don't have a victim because our victim, little Joshlin, is still missing. Joshlin was indeed sold, and that it was for the purpose of exploitation. The exploitation being in the form of slavery or practices similar to slavery. Thirdly, that there was indeed an agreement reached between the 3 accused and Ms. Lombaard, that the agreement entailed that Joshlin will be sold and that they will keep quiet and tell no one anything about it, including the police, that there was a common purpose between them. There had been an agreement. And then, fourthly, that all 3 the accused knew, or ought reasonably to have known, that Joshlin was in fact being sold for the purpose of exploitation. And lastly, that all 3 the accused and Ms. Lombaard stood to benefit financially.
The state spent a better part of Tuesday outlining how the testimonies must be viewed holistically. It claims Kelly had begun planning to sell Joshlin in 2023.
The plan was pre-planned already by Kelly the previous year, but the actual plan, came into being between these 4 role players. Joshlin Smith, Stefano van Rijn, Raquel Smith, and Lourentia Lombaard, aka friends. Initially, the plan was revealed to Stephen Kutsia, the most important corroboration evidence for Renza's testimony, which was in August of 2023 already, when the plan was already at that stage indicated to Mr. Kutsia. And once the court makes those inferences, I submit respectfully that a conviction should then follow in line with those inferences. So that is why the state prays for a conviction of all 3 the accused on the main count of trafficking in persons and then on the kidnapping.
Swanepoel has asked the court to consider granting Lombaard indemnity if her testimony is found credible, despite the defense's arguments that the statement contradicts each other.
If the court accepts her evidence to be credible, the court should make the ruling that she honestly and frankly answered to all the questions and that she should get the indemnity.
Once I've made my factual findings and my findings on credibility and reliability, it's an issue that we will have to revisit. But there might be a fine line where one finds in certain aspects, and then one will have to apply the test in the act. Because it's not just about reliability and credibility.
No.
The trial continues with further closing arguments expected from the defense on Wednesday. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Nasiphi in Saldanha.